everybody. Welcome to another episode of 10 Forward Weekly. I am your host, Mike Fadum. I am your community manager, and I'm also sometimes known as Ambassador Kel. And welcome to the stream. We're here to talk to all of you about Fleet Week, and therefore I am joined by the brain, heart, and soul behind Fleet Week. Ladies and gentlemen, Associate Art Director Thomas Maroney.
Hey!
Live long and prosper. How are you folks all doing today? And Thomas, how are you doing?
It's been a busy day, but we're doing good, getting stuff done, getting ships made.
Nice.
Exciting things are brewing that we may talk more about during Fleet Week. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
it's exciting. So I saw a bunch of people in chat going, "What's Fleet Week?" To which I say, "Do you not read our website?" But for people who don't know what it is, Thomas, what's Fleet Week?
So Fleet Week is a week-long celebration of Star Trek ships. It's a collaboration between Star Trek Online, Modiphius' Star Trek Adventures, and the Streampunks RPG group. Kind of in the same vein of what we did a couple of years ago with Day of Honor, where we had a day long of panels celebrating Klingons, because those three groups were all doing something Klingon related. Well, we realized with the Utopia Planitia Starfleet source book, the Modiphius is putting out, that it's a big book all about ships for the Star Trek Adventures rule system, and of course there are Star Trek Online ships that we contributed to that book, and so we thought it'd be cool to kind of do another Day of Honor, but instead of about Klingons, let's do it about starships. And then as we were kind of brainstorming and figuring out what we should call it, um, I kept coming back to the name Fleet Week in my head, and I was like, yeah, but it's not a week; it's just a day. And it's like, well, wait, what if we just made it a week? So everybody was foolish enough to agree with me on that, and Fleet Week was born. And so we're going to be doing a bunch of fun live streams during the week leading up to October 15th. So we're going to start, I think, on the 10th, October 10th, right?
Yep.
With Strike Group Armada, Dark Mom Consortium. They're going to be doing, I think, our first live stream event that night for Fleet Week, and then every night of the week we've got a live stream or a panel or something. We're going to be
Yep.
doing a great 10 Forward Weekly.
And in
With
fact, the
the
schedule
whole.
has increased since the last time we talked about it. Because
Oh, really?
oh yeah, because well, when we were on MC Stu's YouTube channel last week,
Mhm.
and we mentioned that if you were an STO content creator and you wanted to get involved with Fleet Week, to reach out to me, and that's happened. So we're also going to be having a stream that's a little bit more European time friendly from Aries Productions, and a
Oh,
couple other
awesome.
people have reached out to me to try and be a part of it. I think Stu 1701 is making a very funny Starship video specifically for Fleet Week that I will not
Nice.
spoil here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Pundus is also working on something exciting
Oh,
for it.
nice.
That'll be fun. So,
Yeah.
I've heard people call it an advertisement, and I think it's fine. People are cynical these days, but I really want to drive home that really, I mean, if you don't know or you don't believe it by now, like, I love Star Trek ships, and everybody who works on STO, we love it, and we wanted to mark out an event and a time to really celebrate that fact. And so
Yeah.
we're talking about, the ships coming to Star Trek Online, right? We're talking about the Utopia Planitia book, but beyond that, most of the panels that we're going to have on Admiralty Day, which is the October 15th, the kind of culmination of this whole event, we're having, we've got Dr. Mohammed Noor, Dr. Aaron McDonald, John Eves, Rick Sternbach, right? Those guys, they're not here to shill Star Trek Online. They're here to
We
talk
wish they
about.
were. I mean, if you guys are listening and you want to shill Star Trek Online, please feel free. But yeah, Thomas is absolutely right. This is like Day of Honor was. This is born out of a desire to create a fun Star Trek convention that everyone can attend because it's online. I would hear a lot over the years of folks being like, "Oh, I wish I could go to 56-year mission. I wish I could go to
Right.
Destination Star Trek. I wish I could go to Mission, Chicago.
Chicago,
Uh,
Seattle, whatever.
yeah, this is your opportunity to come and see what some of that is like, especially at least the panel parts of it.
Yeah, and we've got a uh some people from Picard I'm very excited about. They're going to talk about bringing STO ships into Star Trek Picard. So that's going to be our our anchor panel at the end of the day at 5 p.m. Pacific. And that's going to be really exciting. So, it is an event to celebrate Star Trek ships, and I think if you're watching Temp Forward Weekly, there's a good chance that ships are a big part of what you enjoy about STO, and so I think and what you enjoy about Star Trek in general. And so I hope that you'll get a lot out of Fleet Week and all panels. I want to do a special plug for the panel going on Tuesday night, the Stellar Service, which I'm plugging it specifically because it doesn't have any Star Trek veterans on it, but it does have some really smart, brilliant people with a lot of really great experience with things like Navy and NASA and all this stuff. These people are real rocket scientists and real pilots and real submariners and naval surface warfare people who've actually sort of lived the Starfleet life in a sort of way, right? And so they're going to be talking about world building in Star Trek, and contrasting their real life experiences with what you see on the screen. And if you're into world building as a thing, as like experiencing, if you're a writer, you like to write, or you like to write Star Trek fan fiction, and you want the Starfleet and your stories to feel real, then you don't want to miss this Stellar Service panel, because it's going to be a lot of fun discussions breaking down, how do you actually create, what are the challenges of making a giant military bureaucracy, right? Like what, like it's all stuff for especially for people who like to write and like to create. It's going to be invaluable perspective that you won't really get unless you have the opportunity to interview somebody with that kind of life experience.
Yeah. But Starfleet's not a military, Thomas.
I mean, that's that well, that'll be a conversation I'm sure that we're gonna have.
Yeah.
It is not a military, but
It's structured a lot, almost
in
exactly like one.
well, I think in all the ways that count, it is a military. I mean, it's if you want to, the word military has baggage,
Yeah.
and so you can, Starfleet does not act like other militaries. That doesn't mean that it isn't the Federation's military,
For
right?
sure.
There's
And also,
so
Thomas is a giant military sci-fi nerd, so.
yeah, but I mean, I think I will grant that is a interesting conversation. It is
Yep.
not a foregone conclusion, right?
What about
I think that
a Vorgon conclusion?
I think that if you asked Gene Roddenberry when he was writing TOS, is Starfleet a military, he would have said yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you had asked Gene Roddenberry, same guy, creator of Star Trek, if you asked him in TNG when he was making TNG, is Starfleet a military, he would have said absolutely not.
Yep.
Right? That like the show and the ethos around it drastically changed over the years, and so I think you can make an argument either way, and that's going to be a fun conversation that we're going to have on Tuesday night.
Well, that's very
Um,
exciting. Let's run through what some of the other stuff that's happening. So we mentioned we're kicking off with stream from Strike Group Armada and the Dark Mom Consortium. That's Monday at 4 p.m. All these times are in Pacific. Then we have the Stellar Service panel on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Wednesday, it'll be a special 10 Forward Weekly, and Thomas is promising me some surprises. So you heard it here first. Jaeger class confirmed. And
now I just want to do it.
yes, just do it. It's a canon ship. I know you hate it, but do it anyway.
I've got time. Let's put it together in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's fine. And then PSX Peace is doing a special stream Thursday at 3:30, and the Q Continuum is doing a Fleet Week stream on Friday at 4. And as mentioned, Aries will be doing one as well. And I've got to go through now that I've got some more time, I've got to go through all the other requests for people to be part of this that want to join and see who else we're going to be adding to the schedule. But
Yeah,
again,
can you? I need that info.
yeah, oh for sure. If you're uh, if you're interested in being a part of Fleet Week, if you're a Star Trek or a Star Trek Online content creator, please do reach out to me, ambassadorkel@gmail.com, or on Twitter, or the other places that people get a hold of me. And that will I will take a look at your stuff, and we might have a space for you. Um, and then on Saturday, there's the big day, which is Admiralty Day. So we're kicking that off with a demonstration and performance from Craig Huxley, who you guys may remember from the stream. Was that only last week? No, that was 2 weeks ago. Who's going to be showing off his blaster beam, the giant metal instrument that was the voice of V'ger. As Thomas mentioned, we've got Dr. Aaron McDonald, Dr. Mohammed Noor, and Rick Sternbach on the science of starships at 12 p.m. to talk about the starships and the science of how they work, and that will be led by the excellent host Amy Imhoff. And then I'm going to run a panel and run tech at the same time. We'll see how that works at 1 p.m. to interview Thomas and John Eves and Tobias Richter and Hector Ortiz about the art of creating starships. And then Modiphius takes over at 2 p.m. for a panel about the starships in tabletop and their Utopia Planitia source book, which just came out. Which, by the way, if you did miss this news, has several Star Trek Online ships and the rules for using them in the game. Then the Streampunks are going to talk about their Star Trek games that they've run at 3 p.m. And 4 p.m. we've got it's called Bringing Starships Home. It's kind of a merchandising panel with Ben Robinson from Eagle Moss and John Fraser of Star Trek Unlimited and Kavita Mirage of Retrospect Studios. And then finally, with the big main event at 5 p.m., we've got a bunch of actual guests from Star Trek Picard who are going to be talking about bringing ships to life for that show. So, yeah, it's going to be a really fun day, and I'm really excited. Thomas, which panel are you most excited for?
Um,
And why is it the military panel on Tuesday?
I think. Well, I mean, I'm excited for that one because I don't get to talk to those people a lot, and I just really enjoy talking to them and listening to them.
Yeah.
So they're really fun. They have a lot of great sea stories, and have a lot of stories. Like if they're the perfect group to like go on a go tour about like the USS Hornet, right? Because they'll be like that. Um, that pole over there is called a Rogers pole because this asshole didn't tie up something right and broke a whole ship, and so they named this pole after him to prevent the stupid
Other
thing that he
people from
did from
doing that
happening again. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And there's a lot of stuff like that, and that's the kind of like texture that I think is fun to try to incorporate into your own. If you're writing your own stories, your own fiction, knowing that there is that much texture to the real world examples helps you kind of make it go deeper in what you're writing. So that's why I think it'll be a really great panel for any prospective writers out there. As far as I mean, I think the Picard panel is going to be awesome, and I'm just over the moon about John Eves joining us. I still kind of can't believe that we got Rick Sternbach too, and
yeah.
so I'm very very excited about the science panel. I think seeing him interact with Dr. Aaron McDonald, and I think they're going to have a really really fun conversation. Yeah, man, that's the thing is there's a lot of it. We got really, I feel really lucky that pretty much everybody we asked was like, sure.
Yeah.
There were a couple of people that said they couldn't do it, but we
But
really kind of
90% of the people were like, yeah, that sounds great.
yeah
I'll keep my Saturday open.
yeah we aimed high and people kept saying yes, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, no. All right. We'll add another panel. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, I think we undershot, honestly, and I've seen some people on Twitter complaining about this. I think we undershot on the amount of content creators we got involved too. So I'm glad that people are reaching out because we'll happily add more people.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it should. It's. I like the idea of it really feeling like there's a week full of stuff to do. That's
Yeah,
great. And then
that's awesome.
and 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 there's everybody has their favorite ships. Everybody has, you know, uh, and it'll be fun too. I definitely encourage people, if you like want to make something to share during Fleet Week, or like
Yeah.
fan art, all that stuff, right? Like that
Let's
would be
make
the
it a
time to
big
do it.
celebration. The
Yeah.
hashtag Star Trek Fleet Week is we started it. Feel free to use it during the week and uh, in the lead up in the aftermath. Just use it to
Hmm.
to put your cool ship stuff out there.
Hmm.
Romeo India Zulu is asking if this is an annual thing. I'm gonna say probably not because, like Day of Honor, this is very specific.
Hmm.
But certainly we've enjoyed the process of making these virtual conventions now twice. Um,
Hmm.
and depending on how this goes, which I think it's going to go really well, uh, it would be fun to keep doing it. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we sort of will look for the opportunities, like, if there's who knows, in Strange New Worlds does some crazy things with the Romulans, right? And then it becomes, next time it's don't quote, oh my God, they're gonna quote me on
they're going to
this,
quote you on
but
that. I know.
Romulan Week or whatever, right? Like we'll look for opportunities to do
We
fun
should
things. I mean,
we should just do a entire day about the Gorn. You know, just get
ah,
people in there
we
and make
might. I
puns.
mean,
Have a Gorn
if
pun off.
I mean, a lot of this, just like with Day of Honor, came from the fact that, like, that Star Trek Adventures was doing a whole giant thing about a book about ships, and that was a really natural fit for us to
Yeah,
help join. And
because
it
we
was
are.
also like ships that they included our ships, and I actually wrote the foreword for that book, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time I've ever been asked to do. I know that's the first time I've ever been asked to do that. That was very flattering and a great opportunity. Um, so yeah, I personally, it would be great to keep doing this, but I don't think I can afford to spend as much time as I spent on Fleet Week
Listen,
every year
listen, listen.
getting something like
You
this
did
together.
this to you. every time
Yep.
I was like, so Tom, this is Thomas's baby. Every time that I was
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe I'll start working on organize because I did most of the stuff for for Day of Honor.
Yeah.
Literally like a day after we decided to do this, Thomas was like, so here's the schedule. Here's all the guests we're gonna reach out. I've already reached out to 16 different people. I was like, oh, okay. I don't have to
Yeah.
do anything this time. Sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That said, I mean, the first time is always the hardest, right? Like we wouldn't have to get new graphics next year or whatever. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, we'll play it by ear, guys. Let's
Yeah,
just
we'll
see how
figure
this
it out.
goes. But it's
Uh,
going to be a lot of fun either way.
yeah. I saw ZEF says after a year off he might make a video for the week.
Oh, wow.
Reach out to me and let me know. And I did see you post that in both chats.
We would certainly love to see another Zeph
Yeah.
video. I really miss them. We miss them a lot. So,
Yeah.
um,
Cool.
so
So that's basically Fleet Week. Do people in the chat have questions? Because and when I say questions, I specifically mean about Fleet Week. I've seen a lot of the, can we get this item, this uniform, this bridge, this ship? Um, let's not worry about that tonight. Let's talk about fan art. I haven't done fan art yet. While you guys are thinking of your questions, we'll do some fan art. So Stu1701 sent us this shot of his captain sitting in the captain's chair on. He said it was the bridge of his ship, but we haven't made that bridge player facing yet, so it's actually the Enterprise F bridge. But someday soon that will be possible. I need to track down some people and shake that cage again. Kid Fox JRX sent us this image of an ambassador class. He said an ambassador class for the ambassador, so I love that. Um,
nice.
Mark Hawkman sent us. I've got to be honest, Mark. I don't understand this joke, but it's I thought I'd post it up here anyway because you did send it in. And finally, we got a bunch of images from Pundus. This week we released the latest uh, in our collaboration with Space Dock, which is the X Asterisk series, which you should go and check those out on. It's youtube.com/spacedock, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Um,
Let's try it.
Yeah, that's a good call. But you should go check that out. There's a
Yes,
bunch
that
of
actually.
okay.
Uh, Good on them for getting that URL. Holy crap!
Yeah, I'm just gonna put that in all of the chats so you guys can jump right
Yeah.
there. But the whole X Astra series is up, and the whole X Astra series so far is up and exciting. You should check out the latest one, which is about the Kittimer, where Pundus, who does all the like ship art for those, uh, went all out.
Hmm.
Just really went
Mm.
for it this time, and so he has also made images of or renders of every single ship he used in that video, and I'm going to show you three of them. So here's the AFS Temer. I love this backdrop. He apparently made it with one of those AI image creators.
Hmm.
Here's the a Katinga flying over the city. Assume that's the first
Yeah, that
city.
was super cool.
Yeah. And here is the AFS Dax, which is, I love the name of the ship and everything about it, and I love how this picture looks. So yeah. All right. So
Nice. Yeah.
questions about Fleet Week. Let's see. Would attending Fleet Week count for a con appearance for the purposes of HoloLita? We haven't talked about that. We usually only make Hollow Bridge officers for physical conventions, but maybe I can convince production to let me have some extra codes to give out during the chat. Uh, I'll take a look. Will there be anything special for Fleet Week in game? Probably not. We this is something Thomas and I are sort of doing on the side, but it came together fairly quickly, so there's not a ton of time for designers to go and do in-game stuff for it. I mean, I guess we could always turn the Star Trek Day event back on. Excuse me, that would
That's
kind of
good.
work. You guys all want to hear Emperor Okeg every time, Emperor President Okeg every time you come to Earth Space Talk again, right? You want that? Can I tell you who we asked to join Fleet Week that couldn't make it? No, that's that's not how these work. Sorry.
Yeah. We don't want to put them on the spot. Like it.
No, I
Yeah.
don't want people tweeting at them and being like, "Why aren't you doing
Right.
Fleet Week?" It was
Right.
just
Right.
scheduling stuff.
Um. Somebody asked about. I'll go ahead and answer this now. Just
Yeah,
there's no reason that. Somebody asked. Who was it? Zobraz, will Fleet Week be the venue when Thomas talks more about details about his Odyssey class remaster? I'm on the fence about whether or not I want to show more of that at Fleet Week. But I will answer your question now about the four glowy bits atop the saucer. Those are actually inspired by similar structures on the Stargazer. The Stargazer has those two impulse deflection crystals, I guess, whatever they're called. The Sagan class Stargazer, excuse me. And I thought it would be cool to tie in some of the language of the Picard era stuff into the Odyssey remaster. So, as far as the specific function of them, they could be part of the impulse system. They could be, something to do with the slipstream, quantum slipstream. I haven't exactly worked all that out, but I mean, I saw that they were on the Stargazer, and I wanted some visual nods to that type of technology. So hopefully that answers your questions to your satisfaction. As far
yeah,
as really more about the Odyssey remaster, I've put out a couple. We have the shot in the book, and I put out a wallpaper the other day, but kind of keeping that a little close to the chest for now.
yeah.
Um,
It will
it
get
won't. It will
into
not
game
be in
eventually,
game.
but
Yeah, it will not be in game for Fleet Week. That's for sure.
yeah,
But uh, but yeah. Oh,
yep.
somebody said I'm on a 5-degree tilt. I think that
Yeah,
my
your
camera is
camera's a little
actually.
dutched. Yeah.
Excuse
um,
me. I'm on Discovery, everybody.
Oliver Roger wants to know
Oh
how
God.
many ships will be presented during Fleet Week. We don't have the answer to that question yet because Thomas is still figuring it out. So
Mhm.
I would love to tease you more about it. It's falling, but
Hold on. I'm gonna turn on. No, I don't want to turn on my camera. You guys are just
yeah,
gonna
that'll
live with this.
it's gonna break everything.
Why can
Um,
I even touch the camera? Like, why is that an option? All right.
I think it just tilted. Oh no.
This is so weird. All right, hold on. Oh, I know why. I know what's going on. All right. If that looks a little better.
Yeah, that looks
We'll live
better.
with that for
Yeah,
now.
sounds good.
Sorry, everyone.
Let's see. Are any of the ships for the Tardigrade Empire? Yep, all of them. Okay, Duncan wants to know what would a ship for a tardigrade look like if Thomas designed it. I will actually ask that question because that's a funny question.
What ship would Targaryen look like if I designed it? Tardigrades. I mean, okay, Tardigrades don't need ships, first of all.
Yeah.
Um, but if they had ships, uh, I don't know. I mean, one of the tropes I hate. So let me pontificate a little bit.
Sure.
Is I hate the trope of like, here is a blue alien. All of their guns and their ships are also blue and sort of look like them. And it's weird because it's like people don't make flesh-colored spaceships, right? Like we don't,
Oh
or
God.
cars, right? Wouldn't that be weird?
Yeah.
So if there were, and I think this is actually something Star Trek is pretty good about usually, where the ships don't look like the ships have a brand, like Klingon ships have a brand, right? But the Klingon ships don't look like Klingons. They don't have, angry foreheads and whatever else and beards and stuff.
Uh,
So I think Star Trek's pretty good about that. I think a tardigrade ship in Star Trek, it would not look like a tardigrade. You wouldn't necessarily look at it and say, "Oh, that's a tardigrade ship," right? It would be a cool spaceship, but it doesn't have to evoke tardigrades right off the bat. Like, so that's my sandbox about designing starships for aliens.
I do like Rayfire 355-7's. What do water bears need with a starship?
Right? That's great.
uh, all right. Does anybody have any more Fleet Week questions? Will we never get a Spaceballs like human-shaped ship? No, until somebody does one in,
Yeah.
Discovery or Picard or
Right.
something.
Write your Discovery art director.
Yeah, if the Spaceballs one shows up in those shows, then absolutely we can add it.
I think I mean one thing, if you guys have seen the guest list, right? If you um if you have a burning question that you want us to ask our panelists, you can tweet it at me and we might ask it, we might not, but it might be good to get some inspiration
I'm
from to see what the community wants to know about.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. If we did do the Spaceball one, that would have to be just based on the opening sequence of Spaceballs. That would be a very big ship, wouldn't
It absolutely would. Yeah.
it? Fortress Tiberius, I'm pushing for Arcane Flame Pony. I want a Constitution class that transforms into a Transformer. For some reason, the art people and producers on this game laugh when I make this suggestion, like it's not a totally serious suggestion. I bet you Paramount would go for
hmm
it.
The Trexpert has an interesting thing, Mike, that it would be fun to talk.
We could
I mean,
definitely ask
uh,
John Eves about some of his pre-cryptic STO designs. I think some of them
yeah.
got reused for or remastered for like the Inquiry and
Well,
a couple other
yep.
modern ships.
Yeah, totally. And it's funny. We'll have to be sensitive about that because I'm not sure if he ever got paid
Yeah.
by
Oh no.
Perpetual.
Oh no. Okay, yeah, we'll ask him about that in advance then.
uh,
Yeah.
but I would like to know more about that too. Like, what was it like working with those guys? Um, uh, those guys. I didn't mean it like
Those
that.
guys. I
Uh,
don't think John Eves designed that starship. You know the one I mean. uh, all right. Well, cool. I'm glad people are super excited for this event, and I'm excited to share it all with all of you. Um, let's see. Will any of the panels streams be available on video on demand outside of Twitch in case anyone visits them live? Uh, Unless somebody tells me I can't, I'll do what I do for 10 Forward and just stream everything on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook all at the same time, which means just like these videos, it will be live on YouTube afterwards. Oliver Roger, will there be any content announced in celebration of 10 years of Star Trek Enterprise and 35 years of Voyager? Probably not. Honestly, the anniversaries keep sneaking up on us, and we're very focused on making new and original content for the game. Uh, I will say, I think we're actually going to get you folks TNG anniversary items back for the anniversary, but that's not 100% confirmed yet. So, what is my background? Well, I started out as, oh, you mean the virtual background? It's one that comes with Discord. I just needed something to do. Will we be giving anything away? Yes. In fact, all of the streamers that are a part of the event will have giveaways. So make sure you tune into their streams. I'll tell you what those are later. Mystic Knight the Fam wants to know when Fleet Week is. That's a very good question. The big Admiralty Day is October 15th, but the week kicks off on October 10th.
Yeah, we
So,
have a an article. Mike, could you paste that in the chat
yep,
for
I can do
people?
that again.
Yeah,
If you just go to
that.
playstartrekonline.com and go to news, it's pinned at the top of the page there. But
Oh, great. Okay. And then we're also going to be later this week going to start releasing, I think, tweeting out like
the
more
different,
information about each panel and each
yeah,
guest, so you can kind of get a sense of who's involved and what their credentials are and what they're going to be talking about. So I think that'll just be from the social accounts, right?
yeah, that'll be a good the place to check it out. And probably also on the official forums.
Mhm.
TOS Star Trek. I also hope the Titan A is coming to the game, but we just saw it for the first time on Star Trek Day, so it's gonna be a while. Yep, Rayfire. The Fleet Week 10 forward is on Wednesday. Because we had something scheduled for Tuesday, so pushed it back a day. But it will
Yeah,
normally
sorry
still be
about
on
that.
Tuesdays. No, it's fine. I can still do Wednesdays. Can you get a? Oh, that's a different thing. Kale is a part of the Romulan Empire. That is a lie, Chris Harker, and you know it. Giveaway just for PC or is console included? That's a very good point. I'll try to make sure there's some console codes sent out as well. Okay. Well, any chance of updating Earth Space Dock, Reap Picard? Possibly. We're going to talk about that as we see those episodes and see how much work it is. But
It would be well after the
yeah,
end of Picard season 3, though. It wouldn't
for
be
sure.
anytime soon.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Well, thanks, folks. This has been fun, and it's fun. I'm really excited for this event. I think you guys are going to get a huge kick out of it. Um, I am going to find us someone to raid and keep an eye on Star Trek Online social accounts for the next couple of weeks for even more info on the different panels and things that we're doing.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. I really hope you enjoy the lineup we've got, and we have a lot of fun celebrating Star Trek ships.
Yeah. Ooh, let's see. Unmute.
And my grandson, Maven, may also be a target. The filthy...
The person doesn't seem like they're talking, unfortunately. Who do I want to raid? Who do I want to raid? This person seems fun.
It's basically me trying to get in and do my own thing.
Yeah, they seem fun. All right. Let the raid commence.
Raid, raid,
Giveaways
raid, raid.
giveaways will be for the entire globe, but you'll have to tune into the streams to get it. Whoops. All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next week. Bye bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye bye now. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.